Right. Sean Mize here. And so the next thing that we're going to do is take our email sales letter, which is where I initially wrote it for brainstorming purposes. And the reason that I write these in email form is I learned a long time ago that if I can visualize a human on the other end of the email, my email is so much more personable. If I write it as an email, thinking about a person, it's just so much more personable than if I just write it cold somewhere. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll literally write something out in email, and then I will copy and paste that over as the primary content on wherever the sales letter is. Now, for this demonstration, I'm showing how to do what I call a short form sales letter, and I'm just pasting it in here. So this will become a short form uh, sales letter. And I'm going to come back in here because this is actually the headline or the subject line on the email is going to become the headline. Okay, so we just turn that into title text. We'll make that bold, and I'll actually make it a little smaller so it'll fit on the page. I'm going to switch this to pageless. You'll see it looks like it's 2 pages. I want it to just look like it's one big long page. Okay, so it's what we call pageless. And I'm going to say to dear client from Sean Mize. Okay, and then here it is. Here's the letter, just copy and pasted from over there. And I'll put the order form button here. I'll put the order link here. Okay. And then they'll just go to the order form and they'll purchase it there. And this is it. We could say to your success, Sean Mize. I'll do this as a demonstration. I'm not even sure when I promote this that I'm going to put pricing on the Google Doc. So there's a couple ways you can do Google Doc, well, sales letters. You can make sales letters contain a price or just have the checkout form contain a price. In this case, I made this without it containing a price. If we were to put a price in here, then I might do something like this. What's the investment? Question mark. Here's the thing. The value of 20 to 30 subscribers a day is easily $200 to $300 a day. That's $6,000 a month. Even at $1 a subscriber, that's $600 a month. But I want this to be a no-brainer for you. So instead of $6,000, instead of $600, you'll invest just $100 here. Okay. And then we might have a PS. PS. If you are reading way down here at the bottom, maybe that means you aren't sure. That's the case. I want to reassure you personally. Not only have I personally generated 20 to 30 subscribers a day in just 15 to 30 minutes a day on Substack. When I took the pedal off and did nothing for several months, I still got 100 or so subscribers each month just as overflow. The 100 subscribers alone would pay for this course. So go ahead, get the course. It's easy, get started. And then we put the link to the order form. So that's it, folks. That's Google Docs sales letter. Now, obviously, if you said you wanted to, gussy it up a little bit, you could put some headings in here. And I'm just really picking. I'm just picking lines that stand out to me. That's generally how I do subheadlines, things that I think might be meaningful. I've heard, this is more than heard. I mean, people are skimmers a lot of times when they read. So when I first learned to do copy, we used to have the idea that if all people did was read the headlines, they'd know what this whole thing was about. So the secret Substack method, that's the whole thing. I could put a buy link right there. So then I say Substack is the platform. Here's the secret. Now, the reason that I broke the rule here is that because I'm calling it a secret, there's a colon there. People will keep reading. I didn't want to have two bolded lines. That's what this would look like. I didn't want that. And I didn't want to not bold this one. Now, what I could do is make this italics. Actually, I like that better. So I could make that italics. Okay. Remember, folks, just because there's rules and there's guidelines for what works well, especially at lower prices, you can do things any way you want. I mean, if it doesn't sell, you need to make an adjustment, but you don't have to stay inside the box. I don't. After 18 years, I get bored inside the box. Now, having said that, I know that a short letter like this that kind of covers all the points will convert really well. So I'm not going to go write a 100-page letter for a low-cost item like this. So, I mean, I know what the rules are, but I think what I'm saying is, you're doing things in a way that works. You do have some creative flexibility. Okay. And, maybe since we've added some italics here, let's do that here. This is so easy. What's the investment? This is instant, easy access training. And you know what? Why don't I make this the reassure personally line, the bolded line? Okay. And then obviously I'm making this as part of a course. So the next part of the course is to make the link. So I don't have a link to put in here yet, but when I have a link, I'll put it in. It's just a link from Stripe. Okay, folks. That's it. How to make the Google Doc sales page.